Hey, it's Holly. And the other day, you guys saw I got some more of the cupcakes on sale when Michael's had their big sale here after Christmas. And I got to thinking, I haven't ever used one of these little guys. And there is a pattern right on there for a hat. So I figured, why don't we just try the pattern out together? So let's give it a shot. Okay, to make the hat with the Caron Cupcakes that's on the label, you'll need a Caron Cupcake. I picked this color Tangerine Dream for my oldest son. He really loves greens. I've already cut the pom-pom off. And the little string that was on it came off. I don't know if that was supposed to or not, but it's okay. Easily fixable. And then you're just going to take your label off. Oops, my label's stuck there. And you'll notice that on one side the instructions will be in Spanish, and on the other they will be in English. And it's a very easy pattern to follow. The pattern makes a child size 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. I'm going to be making a 10 for my eldest, and I am going from the outside in because I want the green on the top. Well, I don't know. Actually, green on green would probably look funny, so why don't we try to find that center pull and actually do it from the top. So looks like we're going to go ahead and start with cream. Sorry about that. Creative, I don't know how you would say that. Creative, like, indecisiveness. But okay, you're also going to need, may or may not need, a stitch marker. So I've got one here. Some people like to use them, some don't. A pair of scissors and a crochet hook. The pattern calls for a 4mm, so I'm using this 4mm by Yarnology. Okay, the first thing we want to do is make a slip knot. So just make one of those however you make those. No wrong way. Okay, and then for our first thing we're going to do is we're going to chain 3. So chain 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Now, in the third chain from the hook, let's see if we can get my camera here to focus. You'll see 1, 2, 3. Third chain from the hook. This yarn's so thin, it's hard to hold on to. We want to do 8 half double crochets. So to do a half double, you yarn over, go through the stitch, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 on the hook. It's having a little trouble focusing. There we go. And then you yarn over and pull through all 3. So that's 1. Let's go ahead and put 8 in. So 1, 2. Oh, didn't get over it. 3, 4, 5. Whoops, see, lost a stitch. That's okay, just start over on that one. I believe this is number 6. There we go. 7. And our last one in that third stitch is 8. Mine seems to be a little loose, but the pom-pom's going to hide that, so that's okay. So now what we want to do is slip stitch into the top of that chain 3. And or the chain 2 that was in the beginning. I should let you guys know, I forgot to in the beginning, but now is where it's going to become important. Your chain 2s at the beginning do not count as a stitch. So slip stitch in there by going through and then pulling through. You have this little hoop here. Like I said, we can close this hole up later. Not a problem. And you should be able to count around. You should have 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So now what we want to do is put 2, you want to do an increase all the way around, so 2 double crochet in each stitch, but first you're going to chain up 2, 1 and 2, or 2, I'm sorry, I said double crochet. We're doing half doubles. We're going to skip this first one because that's where we slip stitched, and we're going to go into the, well, let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, I was correct. Sorry. Sometimes I get a little confused when you don't count it. We're going to put 2 in the first stitch. So 1 half double, yarn over, go through, pull through, and go through all three on your hook. 2 half doubles. That's your first increase. Do an increase in every stitch around until you have 16 stitches, not counting this chain 2. Okay, go ahead and do that. Meet you right back. Okay, so I'm about at the end of round 2. I'm doing my number 16th stitch into this last one. So that is my 16th half double. And since we're not counting this chain 2 as a stitch, normally we slip stitch into here. We're going to slip stitch into the first stitch because we're not counting that one. Slip stitch. That gives you a nice little circle there. To start round 3, what we're going to do is chain up 2, 1 and 2, and we're going to do a repeat of an increase, which is 2 in 1 stitch, and then a single. So in this very first stitch, you're going to put in 2 half doubles, so 1 and 2. Then in the next stitch you put in 1. Okay, I'll do that one more time, and that's just going to be your repeat all the way around. So in the next one you're going to go right into there, put in a half double here, that's 1, and right into the same stitch put another one in for 2, and then in the very next stitch only do 1 half double crochet. Okay, so the pattern is an increase, which is 2 in 1 stitch, and then 1 all the way around. You should finish with 1. I'll meet you back when we're done with that. Okay, I've made it all the way around for my round 3, and I'm about to put the last stitch in. It actually it goes in where you did the slip stitch. It's just how it ends up working when you're not counting that chain up as a stitch. So there's that, my last one. Then I'm not going to count the chain again. We're not counting that. We're skipping it. We're going over here to the first stitch, and we're just doing a slip stitch. A lot of patterns you're going to count that chain 2 or chain 3 or chain whatever it is as a stitch, but for this hat they want it to be nice and tight like this, so that's why it's not counting that. So our round 4 now starts again with chaining 2. And then we're going to be doing, an increase in the first one. So put 2 stitches in that, and then 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So I will show you what that looks like. In your first stitch, put in your increase, so 1 half double, 2 half doubles, and now in the next 2 stitches put 1 half double each. So 1, well then my camera is having trouble focusing, so that was 1, and now, nope, I got caught, there we go, 2, and that's it. That's all you do all the way around, and you'll end on a number 2. So I'll show you one more time. In the next stitch we now repeat the pattern by doing 2 half doubles in this stitch, 1, 2, and then in the next 2 stitches put 1 each. So 1 in this stitch and 1 in the next stitch. And there you go. That's how you repeat the pattern. Do that all the way around. You should end on a single stitch, the second single stitch. I'll meet you back here at the end of round 4. Okay, so I am back to the end of round 4, and I'm going to put in the stitch in here, the last half double. And I kind of noticed something. They don't want you to count the chain 2 as a stitch, so it's actually giving a bit of a bump back here. So I'm actually going to change that now, and I'm sorry if this causes any confusion, but I'm going to go ahead and not really, or well, I am going to count it. I'm going to count it because I'm going to be doing increases in that first round. So instead of skipping this slip stitch, I'm going to go ahead and, well, let's find where we're supposed to go in. I guess we are supposed to go in right here, so I'm sorry. Sorry for the confusion. We're going to slip stitch into that first stitch like we did before. And the only thing I'm going to do differently this time is I'm going to include my chain 2. So I'm going to go chain 2. And the pattern for round 5 is an increase, which is 2 in 1 stitch, and then 3 stitches of just 1 half double. So I'm actually going to count this as my first one this time, and I'm going to half double crochet in there one more time for a total of 2. Hopefully that looks better, because I'm not really liking the way this is kind of lumping up from hiding or not using that stitch. It's just pushing it to the back. I'm sure that'll be fine on the inside of the hat, but I don't really like it. Let's see. So that's going to count as our 2 stitches. So now we just do 3 half double crochets in the next 3 stitches, or well, 1 in the next 3. So 1 half double in the next stitch. This is our second half double into the next stitch. So 1, 2, and now our 3rd stitch with a half double. And there we go. So that's how you do the repeat. We'll do it one more time. So in this next stitch, because it'll be the beginning of the repeat, we're going to put 2 half doubles, 1 stitch, 2 stitches. And now in the next 3 stitches, we're just going to put 1. So we're going to go 1, go to the next stitch, 2, go to the next stitch, 3. There you go. So just continue doing that for round 5 all the way around. Okay, so that is the end of round 5. I have put in my last stitch, and I'm going to slip stitch into the top here. I'm just going to go right up here to the top. It's kind of hard to see where to get into, but and just kind of work it into there. And slip stitch. And then let me check the back. See, go ahead and counting that one made it so that my back doesn't have that lump. I kind of like that better. All right, on to round 6 now. So we're going to chain up 2, 1, 2, and now it's going to be an increase, and then let me double check, an increase, then 4. So we're going to count this as 1, yarn over, go through that same stitch, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. So that's 2 or an increase, and now just do 4 half double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so that is your first set of the repeat. I'll show you one more time. So in the first stitch, you do 2, that's your increase, so 1 half double, 2 half doubles. In our next 4 stitches, we just do 1. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now I will meet you back at the end of this. You should end on your 4th single stitch. So when you get to that, you won't be doing a stitch into that slip stitch this time. Hopefully. At least that's how it should work out. So do 2 and then 4, and I'll meet you when you get back at the end. Okay, about to put in my last stitch of round 6. Right in there. And then we're going to slip stitch into the top one. Okay, there it is. And that is a little piece of lint there. Sorry, that was bugging me. That is round 6. You should have a total of 48 stitches. So now we're going to go on to round 7, where you chain 2. And the repeat for round 7 is going to be an increase or 2 half double crochets. And then 1 half double crochet in the next 5. And we will get a total of 56 stitches. So we did our chain 2. That's going to be number 1. We're going to go into that same stitch. That's going to be number 2, or the increase, and now just do 5. So we'll go 1, 2, gets a little caught sometimes, 3, 4, and number 5. That is your repeat. So I'll show you that. Let me get a little bit of slack here. One more time. just so that we all are on the same boat. And the next stitch is going to be the start of the repeat, and we're going to do 2 half double crochets in that one. 1 and 2, and now 1 half double in the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and that's all you do. When you get to the end, you should have, let me double check, 56 half double crochets. See you at the end of round 7. Okay, so I'm about to put in my last half double crochet on round 7, and then I'm going to slip stitch into that top stitch. Slip stitch. There we go. That looks really nice. I like the orange and green flecks in the white. It's really cute. It's going to make the hat really adorable. So now round 8, we are going to chain up 2. I'm going to get some slack. I like a little slack there. Then we're going to do an increase, which is 2 in the same one. So put another one in that stitch, another half double. That's your 2. And now you're going to do 6 half doubles in the next, 6 in the next stitch. Ooh, what a tongue twister. In the next 6 stitches, do 1 half double. So 1, 2, keeps getting caught there, sorry. 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that is your repeat. You do 2 in one stitch, and then 6, or in the next 6 stitches, do 1. And that is going to be round 8. And you're going to do that all the way around until you get 64 half double crochets. I'll see you back at the end of round 8. Okay, so I'm ready to put in my last stitch here, my last half double, and then I will slip stitch into the top, and I have 64 half double crochets. Now, if you are doing the size 2, this is where you would stop with your increases, and you would continue doing 64 half double crochets around until your hat was 7 inches long. Or 7 inches long, and then you would skip down to the last round. So you can always fast forward to the end to see what we do there. But so if you're stopping on size 2, go ahead and stop now. If you're going to size 4, there's one more round of increases for that one, and that's done a little differently. So you'll have to read the pattern for that one. It actually does. Let me see. It does an increase, so 2 in the next, or 2 in the first stitch, and then 1 in the next 15, and you do that around a couple of times until you get to 68 stitches, and then that's where you stop for a size 4. So, but we are going all the way to a 10, so we are going to skip down to the next round, which is going to be round 9 for us, but not for everybody else. So round 9 for the size 10 hat is going to be chain 2, and the pattern is going to be an increase, so 2 in one stitch, and then 1 in each of the next 7 stitches. So that is our chain 2. We're going to yarn over, go right back into that stitch, put in a half double, that counts as our 2, and then we're going to put 1 in each of the next 7. So 1, hopefully that's showing up good. I don't know if my camera is really focusing. There we go, focusing. 1. Now we'll go number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And that is your repeat. Doing 2 and then 1 in each of the next 7. Do that all the way around till the end, and we should have 72 half double crochets in here. Okay, so I'm putting in my last stitch of that round, which was number 7 there. And then I'm going to go into the top of this guy right over here, just right in the top there, and slip stitch. Okay, so if you are only doing a size 6, this is where you're going to stop, and you're going to continue doing 72 stitches around until you get it down to about 8.5, 9 inches. and then you will be doing the edging, which we'll do at the end. If you're going to do a size 8, you need to do one more increase round, which will be a double. So you'll do your chain 2 and another stitch in there. That'll count as 2 stitches in that first one. And then you will do 1 half double crochet in the next 17 stitches all the way around to the end. That will give you a total of 76. And you're going to want to continue doing 76 stitches until your hat is about 19 inches long. But we're doing a size 10, so we're going to go down for our 10th row, our last set of increases here. We're going to chain up 2, 1, 2. We're going to do another one right in there because our first stitch is always a double or an increase, so 2 in the same one. And then we want to do 1 half double crochet in each of the next 11 stitches all the way around until we get to 78. So let's just count 11 here. 1, 2, oh, little stuck, there we go, 3, sorry. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. That is our repeat. You do 2 in the first one and then 11 half double crochets. So keep doing that all the way around and we'll be done with round 10 and we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm putting my last half double crochet and I will slip stitch to the top, just like, sorry, I got a little off camera there, slip stitch. And there we go. I have 78, sorry, my little dog sneezed there. Okay, a 78 half double crochets, and this is supposed to be the crown of a size 10 hat. So now from here I continue doing 78 until my hat is about 20 to 21 and a half inches long, depending on how long you want it. And then so we'll go ahead and just keep doing the 78. So to do that, you're just going to chain up 2. We're not going to count that as 1, so we're just going to put 1 in that stitch. And then the next one's going to be 2, 3, and we'll just keep going around like that until you get all the way around. And you'll keep doing those rows, keep continuing until your hat is 20 to 21 inches long. And then we will meet back and we will do the final little border part and add the pom-pom. So I have made my hat as tall as I wanted it. I'm putting in my last half double crochet right now. And then I'm going to slip stitch into this top of the first one, and there we go. It is, oh, sorry about that, somebody obviously is trying to get hold of me, but anyways, I made it as tall as I wanted to. A quick clarification, I must have had a blonde moment. I kept saying I wanted to make this 21 inches tall. Obviously that is not true. I wanted 21 centimeters, otherwise this hat would be just really, really big. So sorry about that. You know, I do get one blonde moment a day. So now on to the border. The border is going to be just a single crochet, and you're going to do 4 rounds of that. So to start, all you're going to do is chain 1, go right back into that stitch, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 2 on the hook, yarn over and pull through. That is a single crochet. Now single crochets are fairly short, so this is where I like to use stitch markers because sometimes it's a little harder to see where it is coming around. But all you're going to do for this round is just go in each one and do a single crochet in every stitch all the way around. I will meet you back at the end of this round. Okay, so I made it around for my first round there, and I have my last 2 single crochets. 1 and 2. It'd be a little confusing because this one kind of looks like a crochet. I don't know if you can see that very well. Let me see if I can get it to zoom a little better on that. A little focus, that's what I meant. This one here kind of looks like one, but that's just your chain 1 to get up there. So now you want to go into where your stitch marker is and slip stitch. And that is the end of round 1. Let me get this stitch marker out of your rim. And what you're going to want to do now is do 3 more rounds of that. just doing single crochets around for a total of 4. And I will meet you back at the end where we will attach a pom-pom. Okay, so I'm at the end of round 4 of the single crochets. I got to put in my last stitch here, last single crochet, and then you'll see I'm at my slip stitch in my chain 1. I need to go into the top of here. I'm just going to take that out, and then we're going to slip stitch right into the top of there. Ooh, little tight. Slip stitch, and then just grab some yarn, pull it through. Get your scissors. I like to leave a long tail to weave my ends in, but you can leave as long as you want. Trim, and then just pull all the way through. Give it a little tighten down there. And there we go. Once we work in the end, that's how it'll look. Get rid of that string there. So there is our finished hat with our cute little trim. And now it's time to add a pom-pom, which is always the best part of a hat. So I don't know if you guys remember in the beginning here, I had pulled the string out of this. So all I did was take some black embroidery floss, put it on a yarn needle and put it up through the middle, pulled it out, and then I pulled it down and around. As you can see, this goes up. You just tuck it down real tight and the pom-pom will poof right over it. You can't even see where it is. So there's my thing. We're going to put this on using a hook. I got a little bigger of one. And what I want to do is get to the bottom here, right to the top center where I want my pom-pom to be. And I am going to go through, just pick a spot and go through. Get my pom-pom here. Grab one of those strings and just pull it through gently. Perfect. So now, directly across from it, I'm going to go in a hole, see, right directly across, find another hole, go in, and then on this side, what we're going to do is just grab the other thread and pull that through. Now I like to hold on to my threads, both of them, if I can get them. Oh. And I like to flip my hat over and take a little look. Obviously we'll be able to fluff that. I think that looks about perfect as far as where to put that pom-pom. So all I do is go back in here and we knot it off. Give it a little tie. I like to tie it nice and tight. Hold that pom-pom on there good. Nothing worse than a pom-pom that falls off a hat. Unless you're making removable pom-poms, which that would be a good idea, I guess. And then I just give this a little trim. I don't worry about a little bit of the thread in the hat. It's not a big deal to me. And then I'll work in my tail end, but there is the hat with his little pom-pom and everything. I think it's super, super adorable. And now nothing left to do but work this tail end in and find a kid to try this on. I love how this turned out. The stripes are perfect. I know my son loves this color green, and who doesn't love this teeny little pom-pom? I mean, I know I had a little bit of troubles with the pattern, but in all, it turned out really cute, and I absolutely love this. I'm definitely going to make more of these little hats for my kids, but you know what we need now, of course, is a kid to put this hat on. Bruce Wayne, come on over. You're going to have to kneel, buddy. You're too tall. 11, outgrowing me already. Okay, buddy, try this hat on. You always put a hat on funny. There we go. You don't cover your eyes. And look at the little pom-pom. Can everybody see it? Lean this way a little. Look at the little pom-pom. Okay. Do you like it?
Yeah, I like the pom-pom. It's soft and I like the hat.
You like the hat?
Yeah.
So I did a good job?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Okay, you've heard it here from the kid. Good hat. You guys should try the pattern. Don't forget to, lean this way a little. Don't forget to enter our giveaway for all these prizes. We'll link that video over there. And where's the subscribe button going to be?
Over there.
Up over here. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye. See you next time.